Dale Robertson. You won't believe what happened next. A beloved TV cowboy, a real-life war hero, and the one Hollywood leading man he couldn't stand. Buckle up, because Dale Robertson lived a life bigger than the big screen, and he never bit his tongue about Robert Taylor. Born Dale Lemoyne Robertson on the 14th of July, 1923, in Harrah, Oklahoma. He grew up where the prairie teaches you grit, the way school teaches you math. Horses, hard work, and wide-open sky gave him that calm, straight-shooting presence audiences later fell for. Times were tough, Great Depression tough, but that's where his get-it-done attitude was forged. Before the studio lights, there was a uniform. During World War II, Dale Robertson served in the U.S. Army with the 322nd Combat Engineer Battalion, ultimately earning a Bronze Star and taking wounds that would leave a mark but never stop him. That mix of bravery and quiet resolve stuck with him. You can almost see it in every close-up later, the kind of stoicism you can't fake. Hollywood wasn't even part of the plan. While recovering from his injuries, he took a simple photo for his mom. Yeah, just a nice son moment. And that picture found its way into the hands of people who could spot star quality from a mile away. One thing led to another, and suddenly, Dale Robertson was testing the waters in late 1940 seconds films, building up to the genre that fit him like a custom saddle. Westerns. Then came the role that made him a household name. On the hit series about frontier justice, he played Special Agent Jim Hardy, fearless, fair, and tough as a sun-baked trail. Week after week, viewers tuned in because Dale Robertson didn't just act like a cowboy, he moved and spoke like a man who'd actually lived it. The horsemanship was real, the presence was real, and that authenticity made the difference. Of course, he wasn't a one-note rider. On the big screen, he showed range in films like Return of the Texan, 1952, Sitting Bull, 1954, and Dakota Incident, 1956. He stepped into Law of the Lawless, 1964, voiced a cowboy hero in the animated The Man from Button Willow, 1965, and crossed the Atlantic for the crime thriller The One-Eyed Soldiers, 1966. Back on TV, he headlined Iron Horse from 1966 to 1968, proving he could anchor a series beyond the saddle. In 1968, he took on the storyteller's chair, hosting the frontier anthology Death Valley Days, where his calm authority made you lean in for every tale. The 1970 seconds added a twist. Dale Robertson became real-life G-Man Melvin Purvis in the TV movies Melvin Purvis, G-Man, 1974, and The Kansas City Massacre, 1975, chasing legends like John Dillinger and Pretty Boy Floyd, with a steely intensity that surprised folks who only knew him from cattle drives and stagecoaches. And he kept evolving. In 1981, he stepped into primetime drama as Walter Lancashire in the first season of Dynasty, introducing his brand of gravitas to a new audience. A few years later, he tried on a modern Stetson in J.J. Starbuck, 1987, playing a wealthy Texan who leaves the boardroom to right wrongs with folksy wisdom and a keen eye for trouble. Short run, big impression. That was his thing. The 1990 seconds brought a gentle full-circle moment when Dale Robertson popped up on Hearts of the West, trading lines with Beau Bridges and Lloyd Bridges. It felt like the screen tipping its hat to a man who'd carried the Western torch with pride for decades. Now, let's talk about the firebrand side of Dale Robertson, the part that never played politics. He was candid about people he admired, and even more candid about people he didn't. At the top of that latter list, Robert Taylor. To Dale Robertson, Taylor represented everything he disliked about the industry: style over substance, image over truth. Where Dale Robertson believed in being the man the camera caught dust, sweat, all he saw Robert Taylor as someone more concerned with angles, lighting, and polish than with character and story. It went deeper than taste. Dale Robertson prized loyalty. In the tense post-war years, Robert Taylor testified before the House Un-American Activities Committee and cooperated with investigators, which, rightly or wrongly, Dale Robertson could never get past. For a man raised on handshake ethics and stand by your friends' values, that was a deal-breaker. He didn't hedge, and he didn't soften over time. Ask him decades later, and you'd get the same answer. Not a fan, not even a little. His personal life was as full as his resume. He married 4 times. In 1951, Dale Robertson wed Frederica Jacqueline Wilson. They had a daughter before divorcing. In 1956, that same year, he married actress Mary Murphy, briefly best known for standing opposite Marlon Brando in The Wild One. The marriage was annulled fast, one of those Hollywood blinks you almost miss. In 1959, he married Lula Mae Robertson. Together, they had 2 daughters and shared nearly 2 decades before parting in 1977. Finally, in 1980, he married Susan Robbins, the partner who would be with him for the next 33 years. With Susan, he settled in Yukon, Oklahoma, trading bright lights for open skies and a quieter rhythm. Even off-camera, Dale Robertson stayed the same man, fans recognized, principled, plain-spoken, and unbothered by showbiz pecking orders. He liked honest people and straight talk. If that ruffled feathers, well, that's life on the range. Time, of course, catches up with even the toughest cowboys. As his health declined, he moved to the San Diego area to be closer to the care he needed. On the 26th of February 2013, at Scripps Memorial Hospital in La Jolla, California, Dale Robertson passed away at 89. He left behind a legacy that wasn't just about ratings or box office, it was about a screen presence that felt true. You watched him and thought, yeah, I'd trust that guy. So why does his story still land today? Because in a town that sometimes runs on gloss, Dale Robertson chose grit. He brought the real thing to roles that could have been cliches. He honored loyalty, even when it cost him. And he said what he believed, even when it wasn't fashionable. Agree or disagree, you always knew where he stood. Now, quick gut check. Where do you land on the Robert Taylor debate? Was Dale Robertson too harsh, or was he calling it like he saw it? Drop your take below. I'm genuinely curious. And while you're at it, tell me your favorite Dale Robertson role. Jim Hardy, patrolling the frontier? Melvin Purvis hunting gangsters? Or the modern-day knight of J.J. Starbuck? Before we ride out, let's bring it home. Dale Robertson wasn't just another actor in a hat. He was a soldier turned storyteller who brought integrity to a genre that lives or dies on authenticity. He loved his family, respected his craft, and refused to pretend to be someone he wasn't. That's why his work still feels alive, because the man behind the badge and the 6-shooter was real. If you're into true Hollywood stories, grit,